Did you know that 77% of people experience physical symptoms of stress, like headaches and muscle tension, because of anxiety? Or that nearly 80% of our thoughts are negative, fueling stress and self-doubt? It's no wonder many of us feel overwhelmed, lost, or stuck. But there's a solution, one that's simple, effective, and has been proven to transform lives: mindfulness. Mindfulness is not just about sitting quietly or meditating, it's about taking control of your thoughts, emotions, and reactions. It's about becoming more aware of the present moment and learning how to navigate life's ups and downs with calmness and clarity. In this video, you'll discover how mindfulness can help you overcome daily challenges, release stress, and find true inner peace. From quieting your inner critic to finding strength in life's uncertainties, you'll learn simple, actionable strategies that can change how you handle everything. Get ready to start your journey to a more mindful, peaceful you. Chapter 1: Mindful Awakening. Shifting your perspective. Mindfulness begins with a shift in perspective. It's about seeing the world differently, not just reacting to what's happening around you. Instead of rushing through your day, pause for a moment and tune into the present. One of the most powerful aspects of mindfulness is its ability to help you step out of autopilot. You can start by asking yourself, what am I feeling right now? This simple question opens up a space for self-awareness. Studies show that mindfulness can reduce stress by up to 30%. But here's the catch: it's not just about breathing deeply or sitting quietly. It's about being intentional with your thoughts. This technique is called cognitive reframing, looking at a situation from a different angle. For example, if you're facing a challenging project at work, instead of feeling overwhelmed, try to view it as an opportunity to grow. Changing your mindset this way allows you to move through challenges with more calmness. The key here is understanding that your thoughts don't have to control you. In fact, research in the journal Psychological Science found that people who practice mindfulness are better at managing their emotions. This helps you respond to situations with greater calm and clarity. Over time, you'll start noticing how this shift in perspective affects everything, from your work performance to your relationships. Chapter 2: Breaking the Noise. Silence the inner critic. We all have that voice inside our head that criticizes us, judges us, and sometimes just won't shut up. This is your inner critic, and it can be a big barrier to mindfulness. The good news is that mindfulness gives you the power to quiet it. How? By simply noticing it without judgment. Every time that inner voice speaks, don't react to it. Instead, observe it. Think of it like an external sound that you don't have to respond to. Mindfulness experts suggest labeling these thoughts: that's just a judgmental thought, or that's just self-doubt. By doing this, you distance yourself from them. This process is called thought diffusion. Instead of identifying with negative thoughts, you see them for what they are: just passing mental events. Research shows that people who use this technique experience less anxiety and greater emotional stability. Another mindfulness strategy to silence the inner critic is by focusing on your breath. Every time that judgmental voice kicks in, gently return your attention to the sensation of breathing. According to a study by Harvard Medical School, focusing on your breath can immediately lower your stress levels by activating the parasympathetic nervous system. This shift from fight or flight mode to rest and digest mode helps you feel more in control of your reactions. Remember, the mind will always have thoughts, but mindfulness helps you separate yourself from them. As Jon Kabat-Zinn, the pioneer of mindfulness-based stress reduction (MBSR), says, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. This approach is about accepting your thoughts without letting them steer your actions. And in doing so, you build a quieter, more peaceful mind. Chapter 3: The Art of Pause. Finding power in stillness. In today's fast-paced world, everything is about moving quickly. But mindfulness teaches us the power of pausing. In fact, it's the pauses that can make the biggest difference in your day. Pausing doesn't mean stopping everything. It means taking a moment to reconnect with the present. This is where mindfulness truly shines. One simple strategy is called mindful breathing. It's not about trying to control your breath but about being aware of it. Take a few moments to notice how your chest rises and falls. Feel the air entering your nose, filling your lungs, and then slowly leaving. This tiny act of pausing can reset your nervous system and make you feel instantly calmer. Another effective technique is called mindful observation. It involves taking a moment to look around you and notice things you normally overlook. Whether it's the texture of your coffee cup or the sound of birds outside, you're training your mind to focus on the present. In fact, a 2018 study published in Frontiers in Psychology found that people who practice mindful observation have a 20% increase in their overall sense of well-being. The real magic happens when you start incorporating these pauses throughout your day. Whether you're standing in line at the grocery store or waiting for your computer to load, take a few seconds to just pause and breathe. These short moments of stillness add up, leading to a more grounded, calm version of yourself. Dr. Alan Langer, a mindfulness researcher, says, mindfulness is the ability to pay attention to the present moment, to notice what is going on right now, and not be overly focused on the future or the past. It's in these quiet moments that we find our power. And when we allow ourselves to pause, we open the door to greater peace and clarity. If you're enjoying these strategies, make sure to subscribe to get more tips and techniques that will help you live a more mindful, stress-free life. Chapter 4. Releasing Resistance. Flowing with life's currents. One of the hardest things we face in life is resistance. We often resist change, avoid discomfort, or push against situations we can't control. But what if, instead of fighting against the current, we learn to go with it? Mindfulness helps us release that resistance and embrace life's flow. The practice of acceptance is central to mindfulness. This means acknowledging your feelings without trying to change them. When you accept what is, you stop struggling with reality. Research from the University of California shows that people who practice acceptance-based mindfulness have lower levels of anxiety and depression. This simple shift can transform how you handle stress. Mindfulness teaches you to embrace uncertainty rather than fearing it. By focusing on the present, you begin to see that life's unpredictability is an opportunity, not a threat. In fact, studies show that people who embrace uncertainty are more adaptable and resilient. In the book Radical Acceptance, author Tara Brach writes, "When we stop fighting against our emotions, we create the space for true healing." An essential strategy in this chapter is practicing non-attachment. This doesn't mean detaching emotionally, but rather, not holding tightly to outcomes or expectations. When you let go of the need to control everything, you find more peace. The next time you're stuck in traffic, try to let go of the frustration. Instead, breathe deeply and use the time to practice mindfulness. When you let go of your resistance, you begin to flow with life, not against it. Chapter 5. Gratitude Beyond the Obvious. Cultivating hidden blessings. Gratitude is often seen as simply being thankful for the big things, your health, your family, your job. But mindfulness takes gratitude a step further. It encourages you to cultivate a deeper, more subtle kind of gratitude for the everyday moments that often go unnoticed. Incorporating gratitude into mindfulness is an easy but powerful strategy. Try this. Every night, before bed, reflect on 3 small things that you're grateful for. These can be simple things like a good cup of coffee, a beautiful sunset, or a moment of laughter. Studies show that practicing gratitude regularly can increase happiness and reduce symptoms of depression. According to the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, people who kept a gratitude journal for just 3 weeks saw significant improvements in their emotional well-being. But mindfulness asks you to go even deeper. It encourages you to notice things that aren't immediately obvious. For instance, if you're stuck in a difficult situation, you can still find something to be grateful for. Perhaps it's the lesson you're learning or the strength you're discovering within yourself. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others, said Marcus Tullius Cicero, reminding us how gratitude can shape our entire mindset. The strategy here is called mindful gratitude. This practice asks you to pay close attention to the small moments of life. Even when things aren't going perfectly, ask yourself, what can I be grateful for in this moment? This subtle shift in focus has a huge impact on how we view our world. When we notice these small blessings, our overall mood improves and we build a more positive outlook on life. Chapter 6: Mindful Connections. The art of present relationships. Mindfulness is not just an internal practice, it's something that can greatly enhance your relationships with others. When you are truly present with someone, it deepens your connection and understanding. Mindful communication is about listening with your full attention, without judgment or distraction. The key to mindful relationships is being fully engaged in the moment. Put away your phone, turn off the TV, and focus on the person in front of you. This practice helps you understand them better and react more thoughtfully. Research from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that people who practice mindfulness in relationships are more likely to experience high levels of satisfaction and intimacy. Mindful listening, where you truly hear the other person's words without preparing your response in your mind, is one of the most powerful tools in this process. Another strategy is called active listening. This means not just hearing the words, but also observing non-verbal cues, body language, tone, and facial expressions. Studies show that 93% of communication is non-verbal. Being mindful of these signals can improve how we relate to others and lead to deeper, more meaningful conversations. Mindfulness also encourages empathy, which strengthens relationships even further. By practicing mindfulness, you become more aware of your own emotions, making it easier to connect with the feelings of others. In The Art of Loving, Eric Fromm writes, "Love is the active concern for the life and the growth of that which we love." Mindfulness, by fostering empathy, helps you nurture and grow your relationships. A final, powerful strategy in mindful relationships is non-judgment. Mindfulness teaches you to accept people for who they are, rather than trying to change them. It helps you let go of criticism and simply appreciate the person in front of you. Instead of reacting with judgments, practice responding with openness and compassion. If you found these mindfulness strategies helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more tips and techniques on how to find inner peace and create lasting change in your life.